They say creativity takes courage. As my artist statement explains, my work is utterly incomprehensible and is therefore full of deep significance. Hello and welcome to Rabbi Rashi Foundation. We have an impact with us today, Sanchit Govil, co-founder and COO of Lalten. Lalten has made a deep impact in the craft sector, the second largest rural livelihood generation sector in India. Lalten provides sustainable livelihoods to 28 micro entrepreneurs, 1,200 artisans, and much more than the numbers, also connecting them to the world. Hello, Sanchit.
Hi, Rashi. Thanks for the wonderful introduction.
So, Sanchit, I would like you to introduce yourself. हमें अपने बारे में बताइए. Lalten का ये unique name आपने क्यों रखा है? And also your mission and vision. Over to you.
Sure. So, hi everyone. My name is Sanchit. I am one of the co-founders at Lalten. I have been born and brought up in Aligarh. It's a small city in western UP. And so my family has a business background. I come from a business background family. And my father has been an active social volunteer, all his life. He has been a cancer patient and he has been a great strength of support for all of us kids to actually go and pursue their dreams outside the city, to get proper jobs and to do whatever business or startups that we want to do. I think he has been a great pillar of support for all of us. Lalten is all about bringing lights in the lives of the artisans. We believe very strongly that artisans currently, they have a huge skill in terms of making handicraft products. It's a huge talent that we can tap into, and they are actually lacking in terms of a lot of proper ecosystems that we can create for them to market their products better. And this is what something which has it's kind of a vision for us to bring that impact and livelihoods for artisans across the country, because they lack a lot of opportunities in terms of getting the right access to markets and also getting the right learnings from the buyers which are kind of looking for such kind of products. So this is what is driving us to run the organization. This is what is the primary mission and vision that we are working on. We want to be the biggest craft sector organization in the country, impacting more and more artisan livelihoods as we progress from here. And I think it has all happened and progressed over the last few years with a lot of good support coming from industry leaders and impact foundations. So I think we are very grateful to people actually supporting us.
That's wonderful. And I simply love this work of yours, personally also, because I'm also an artist. And so I just love what you're just doing. So Sanchit, all these craftsmen and artisans, they belong to small towns, villages, ये अपने छोटे छोटे, मैं बोलूँगी छोटे छोटे शहरों में अपना बहुत अच्छा काम करते हैं. तो
Right.
कैसे approachable है, मतलब how easy it is for them to reach to you and for you to reach to them?
I think so, Rashi. Initially, it was kind of challenging in terms of reaching out and looking out for people who are actually making products which are like which are quite unique, which has a great skill added onto it. And I think we extensively traveled a lot across different parts and clusters of India. So me and my co-founders, we have traveled to almost 20 states, pan India combined, where we have individually seen how these artisans are working in their own silos and with their communities, and what kind of skill they possess, what kind of products they are making, right? And gradually that's how we have built a supply chain also, in terms of onboarding the right people, in terms of onboarding people who can actually help us in the long run, and it's a mutual association where they also understand that we can add that kind of value to their current ecosystem, which is more on design and technological learning as well, that we bring in through our expertise, which is really helping them understand the market better and make better products for us. So I think that is what was initially that we were doing. Gradually as we grow, so obviously a lot of people has helped us in different colleges, students in different communities to onboard and get to interact with a lot of other artisans as well, right? And this is where, after initial or 2 years of traveling alone to the clusters has helped us in spreading the word in the communities and then getting more and more people on board aggressively.
That's amazing. So, Sanchit, why don't you just share some amazing stories and work that you have come across the Indian artisan tribes?
Sure, definitely. I think there are a lot of stories that we have actually figured and that we have seen during our travels and during our journey of Laltain. So one story that clicks me the most. So I remember that, and I'm talking about year 2015 in October, right? And that was the time when the state and central governments, they were focusing on reviving the old crafts, or basically the skill level of the artisans who are making products in Uttar Pradesh entirely, in the Uttar Pradesh state. And so me and my co-founder, we traveled to one of the remotest parts in near Lakhimpur Kheri, which is near Lucknow. And so that was a village and tribe which was near the Nepal border actually, right? And when we actually went there, so initially we had no clue that what kind of products these guys would be making, and what kind of skill level that they possess. And gradually, as we as when we moved there, we actually moved there for almost about 3 weeks of time. And what we noticed was actually pretty amazing. We saw a tribe of women, right? And it was entirely a woman-led group, which was led by a single leader, and her name was Aarti Rana, right? And so she has been skilling and making other ladies and all the community work to basically weave the raw jute which was grown in a nearby village, right? And we noticed that they were actually able to make quite an extensive range of bags and different products out of jute, right? And it was a raw jute product. So we were quite astonished and surprised to see that kind of skill level coming from such a small part in the remotest part of the country. And those were quite amazing products. So they were making like bags, they were making like floor mats, they were also making caps out of raw jute, right? And that too also using different colors as well, right? They were dyeing the jute, they were doing all these activities in their own silos. And that really surprised us and amazed us, and we thought that this is something which can be quite amazing and also attractive to the buyers and to the customers in different metro locations and tier 2 and tier 1 locations, right? And that's when we talked to these guys. We understood how they're working out their supply chain, how we can better give our inputs, and we started basically selling their products on our portal. And eventually with time, that I still remember that particular raw jute bag that was kind of their hero product, right? That became so famous among our own groups of families and friends who were interested to buy that product. So we were able to garner that interest and give that certain business to them, right? And I think that was something which was kind of very satisfied and contented feeling, because we were able to bring that change in their lives. We were able to show them that yes, their products can be sold, right? And and gradually, fortunately, now that community has grown from a woman from 12 women to 48 women today, right? And and they are still involved into actively making the such kind of products.
That's so, insightful. You can learn so much from the tribes of India itself.
Exactly.
So, Sanchit, what kind of artwork and products do Laltain encourage? Why don't you just share some products with us so that, we can reach out to people?
Sure. So we do a lot of textiles. So predominantly our expertise lies in textiles. We do a lot of intervention in terms of surface development, in terms of weaving as well, right? So we do try to bring a kind of a change in what new woven developments we can do, what new textile prints we can develop, right? And we have a very awesome design team in house that does it for us, and quite passionate people coming from NIFT and different experiences, right? Who have been doing this and running this passionately for us. So I would definitely would like to show certain products that we have done. So this is basically one of our tussar sarees, right? So it's hand woven tussan saree, right? And where we have extensively done chikankari work on it, right? And this was something which was ideated by our design team, right? And once we had this ideation done and we had talked to the artisan clusters, it was amazingly appreciated by our buyers, and we were obviously quite happy with the fact that our intervention is actually working, and we were able to attract buyers for such kind of product, right? And we were finally able to sold a lot of these sarees to our retail buyers in India, right? And so this is kind of the predominant work that we do with intervention in textiles. We also do as I was saying, about a lot of fabric development, right, which is into maybe a woven development or maybe a print development. So these are all hand woven developments that we have done internally, right, using our own clusters, own artisans, and with our design team. So this is the kind of work that we are doing. If you see this bag, right, it's a beautiful shopping bag, sort of carrying bag, and it's made out of natural fiber. So this natural fiber grass is grown in the eastern part of India. So yeah, it's amazing to have a wide variety of products that we do today, right? And it's more of into, as I mentioned, more into home textiles and decor. And we are also developing certain kind of natural fibers utility products.
That's really awesome, Sanchit. So today we are covering helping local go global with Lalten. So Lalten has given a platform for Indian artisans to go global. Tell us more about this.
So see, I think when we started, right, so we never thought that we are going to, at the first day, we are going to make it a more like a B2B engine, right? It was more of where our focus was that let's first start with certain artisans and kind of garner interest and generate leads for their products, how it goes. A lot of B2B retailers, which are both international SMEs, if I talk about small and medium retailers in India and abroad, which are actually looking out for such kind of products which are handcrafted, which have definitely some material addition value, or which can bring that unique element of a lifestyle or a decor product, right? And that's what something we started working on. We are working extensively with a lot of Indian retailers today. If I talk about the likes of Fab India, if I talk about the likes of Myntra, Pepperfry, so these are all our clients in India that we are working with. And similarly, with such kind of profile, we started looking out for people in the international domain. So we started participating with a lot of international trade fairs, exhibitions, right, in India and abroad. And that really helped us in getting to know and understand the kind of market which is there in US or European markets, right? And that's where it all started, where we started getting interest from buyers from these countries as well. And that's how our product started getting going out of the country, right? So what artisan was making, actually the product that I was showing you in terms of natural fiber, or maybe our intervention into textiles, that's what something which was liked by the international client as well. Obviously everyone comes with their own taste of their own taste in terms of colors and designs they want, but I think that was something which was the initial point for us to start with our own set of artisanal products. And that's how we started going global, in terms of getting more and more leads and inquiries, and basically interest from a lot of buyers outside India. And I think the best part about doing this is that it actually brings a lot of a new set of learnings for us and for our artisans also, because they're actually getting to understand a lot in terms of what new can be applied on product, right? And what can be their better market linkage, right, for our product.
Yeah, that's very well put, Sanchit, what you just said. So with the COVID, none of us were expecting the pandemic. So it would have been difficult for you guys to reach out to the villages. The traveling was halted by the government. You couldn't travel interstate. So how did you guys manage?
Yeah, see, with COVID around, actually, the supply chain and the logistics was quite difficult. In terms of, because of the shutdown happening in the country, we were not able to. My team was not able to travel to a lot of places. Neither artisans were able to, travel across the different towns and cities they used to travel. So obviously, it made a lot of challenge. It actually brought a lot of challenge for artisans and for us as well. But I think what we did was to come out of this challenge part for the artisans, and to come out of this current problem, was to bring in more and more of digital adoption. I think it was a time where internally we also focused a lot on bringing in efficiencies using technology, and at the same time doing digital adoption for the artisans as well, right? And because ultimately that was something that we wanted to do. And with COVID around, I think that has aggressively pushed us to achieve more of that, where we know that we do have a good set of artisans who can come on a digital platform, right? And who can basically showcase their products, and we can digitally showcase these products to our buyers in India and abroad basically. And that really helped us in starting and aligning things better, right? So today we are much more aligned in terms of the kind of markets we want to reach out to, the kind of leads and the kind of business opportunities I can bring for my artisans. And so I think COVID, if I talk about a perspective, it was kind of a, it was kind of a push and a blessing in terms of we are now more aligned to bring in more number of artisans to do a digital adoption, and bringing a lot more efficiencies within the system actually.
The more you feel this pandemic is a blessing, it turns out to be a blessing. This is what I've also experienced in the last
Exactly.
4 months.
Exactly.
Yeah, the more you curse it, it comes back to you with a curse.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. So Sanchit, you've been dealing with the artisans, the craftsmen, the villagers, people from really small towns. And what is your level of empathy towards them, their understanding their feelings, how easy they trust you? Tell me about that, because I really want to know that.
Right. I think that's a very valid question, because as an organization, when we start traveling and interacting with artisans, obviously for any of the artisan and who is there in the cluster or who is their own community, and for any outsider approaching them, it will always be a cold feeling, right? Because they have they have a particular skill level, they have a particular capacity level they can work with, and trusting an organization, coming an outside organization, obviously at one point of time at the starting is very difficult, right? It's challenging. But I think what really has helped us is in terms of keeping patience and building relationships over time. So we have been very transparent, very vocal with our artisan communities that we work with, and and in terms of our structure also regarding payments, regarding orders, we have been very very transparent and communicative with these guys. And I think that is one of the main reasons that has really helped us in striking that right chord. If I talk about the clusters and the artisans, because that's how they react as well when you approach them. And that has really helped us in growing and getting more and more artisan communities in touch. And I think the second best part that we have done is also which we realized with time, is that we definitely need to have a local strong support, right? So if I'm traveling today to maybe Karnataka, or if I'm traveling today to Maharashtra or Assam, right? So I would still be an outsider for any of the artisan communities, right? And with the kind of work that we are doing, with the kind of buyers that we have, the kind of team that we have, so we know that we can actually create that kind of persona, and we can have actually help people, when we go to Assam or Karnataka. And that's where we are now garnering support from lot of strong local champions, I would say, because that's how we have termed it. It's called as cluster champions, right? And so these are basically local guys who have been artisans themselves. They know the community very well. They are well versed with the community dynamics. They know the language very well. They can communicate better. And so these have become kind of our voice in the clusters now, right? And these are the people who actually convey our designs, who keep in time, our order timelines, our delivery timelines. Everything is something which these local guys manage. And these are the people who communicates our trust building and our confidence also to the artisans, and vice versa, right? So I think that's the kind of bridge that we have developed, working over the years in different parts of India. And in fact, yes, now we are in a stage that we are looking to more aggressively expand our cluster champion base. We are actively looking out for more and more people coming from local clusters and villages who can be our guiding support. And so we definitely would want to welcome such people, coming on board, having their expertise, having seen crafts around them, and which can actually help us grow both. They can actually kind of act as a bridge between our business potential and between the artisans as well, right? So that's what we are figuring out currently.
That's wonderful, Sanchit. What is a special message or a shout out you want to do to the artisans of India?
आज तक हमारी जितनी भी ग्रोथ हुई है, उसका उसका फोकल पॉइंट इज ऑल आर्टिसंस, राइट? और आर्टिसंस के ट्रस्ट और कॉन्फिडेंस के साथ ही हमने ग्रो किया है ओवर द इयर्स. एंड आई बिलीव कि अभी हम लोग एकदम राइट स्टेज में हैं, जहाँ पे हम आर्टिसंस को डिजाइन के साथ और ऑर्डर्स के साथ, बिजनेस के साथ सपोर्ट कर सकते हैं. एंड हमें ये लगता है, बहुत स्ट्रांगली ये लगता है हमारी टीम को, वी हैव अ गुड एक्सपर्टीज इन सपोर्टिंग आर्टिसन कम्युनिटीज, बिकॉज हमने वी हैव एग्जांपल्स ऑफ द इकोसिस्टम्स जो हमने ऑलरेडी बिल्ड किए हैं दूसरी क्लस्टर्स में, कम्युनिटीज में. So it's my request and it's my humble request to artisans and organizations that they can come on board. They can see the kind of support that we can provide and help them grow the business. And actually, finally bring वो जो artisan impact हम करना चाहते हैं, वो आप देख सकते हैं. The kind of impact that we have done. हमने कितना impact किया है और आगे हम कितना impact कर सकते हैं और आपके support के साथ.
So that was a lovely message, and we from our foundation would also like to invite all the craftsmen, artisans to connect with Lalten. You can write to them directly. Their details are on the post. You can write to us. जो लोग हमसे connected हैं, बिहार में, झारखंड में, यूपी में, उत्तराखंड में, अगर आपको लालटेन के साथ काम करना है, अपना सामान, उनको प्रोडक्ट्स अपने आप को उनको बेचने हैं, प्लीज कनेक्ट विद अस, राइट टू अस. एंड संचित का एक नंबर हमने पोस्ट पे दिया हुआ है, आप उस पर डायरेक्टली कॉल कर सकते हैं एंड यू कैन टेक इट फॉरवर्ड फ्रॉम देयर. Thank you so much. And Sanchit, it was a great session. Thank you for helping the Indian craftsmen so much.
Thank you, Rashi, for such a wonderful opportunity. Thank you.